Welcome to Ejimi Media, your source for weekly news and some of the most important information regarding Africa and the diaspora. We start in Central and East Africa, where Ebola is continuing to spread across the Democratic Republic of Congo. The country's health ministry has confirmed at least 101 cases, but suspected cases are approaching at least 1,000. And so far, at least 200 deaths are believed to be linked to the outbreak. But beyond the outbreak itself, a new development is drawing attention. On May 27th, the Trump administration proposed building an Ebola treatment facility in Kenya. The plan would involve flying Americans exposed to the virus to this facility instead of bringing them back to the United States. Reports suggest the site would be located at Laikipia Air Base with around 50 quarantine beds and could be operational by May 29th. The Kenyan government has not officially commented on the proposal. However, it was announced that Kenya would receive $13.5 million in foreign aid around the same time. That connection has raised concerns. Civil society groups in Kenya quickly pushed back. A petition was filed in the High Court, which has now paused the project until further notice. Doctors, lawyers, and activists argue that the government may be trading national health security for financial support. Others have gone further, saying Kenya risks being turned into a dumping ground for foreign patients. This situation highlights a bigger issue, though. Many African countries, including the DRC and Kenya, lack the resources to fully respond to outbreaks like Ebola on their own. That dependence on wealthier nations can sometimes lead to deals that lead to exploitation and control. Instead of looking for African solutions to African problems, such as a coordinated response to the virus or combining resources to address it, African leaders would rather look towards outside nations that don't necessarily care about what's good for Africa. This is a developing story, though, and we'll continue to follow it closely. Next, we head to the Vatican City. Pope Leo XIV, the first US-born pope, continues to make history. On May 25th, he released his first encyclical, which is essentially a document outlining his teachings and the direction of the Catholic Church. In it, he issued a direct apology for the role past popes and the Church played in supporting and justifying slavery, particularly the transatlantic slave trade. Historically, decrees from the Catholic Holy See gave European powers religious justification to conquer and enslave people in Africa and the Americas. While later leaders condemned slavery and overturned those decrees, an apology like this has never been made. Pope Leo described the Church's past actions as a wound in Christian history, marking a clear shift in tone from previous leadership. Reactions have been mixed, though. Some have welcomed the apology. In Ghana, for example, leaders have praised the Pope for acknowledging this painful history. Others, though, say words are not enough. They argue that real accountability would require deeper action, such as addressing the long-term effects of slavery, including economic inequality and racism that still affect African and Black communities today. So while the apology is historic, many are asking what comes next, especially as African and Caribbean nations make their calls for reparations. Finally, we turn to Haiti, where the country is feeling a moment of pride despite some uncertainty. Haiti's national football team has qualified for the World Cup after defeating Nicaragua last year. This marks only their second appearance in the tournament, with the first showing being over 50 years ago. Their opening match is set for June 13th in Massachusetts against Scotland. But there's a problem. One player, Wadensky Pierre, is still in Haiti and awaiting for a visa to enter the United States. Pierre, a defensive midfielder from Port-au-Prince, is currently the only member of the team based in Haiti. The rest of the squad plays in leagues across Europe and the US. For Pierre, this is a moment that is significant, not just personally, but nationally. Representing Haiti on the world stage is a rare and meaningful opportunity. However, current US travel restrictions have made the situation uncertain. Critics argue that Haiti is often viewed through a narrow lens. It's seen as unstable or unsafe, which can lead to stricter scrutiny for travelers. At the same time, though, the United States, as a World Cup host, is expected to allow players from all qualified nations to participate. There is still time to resolve this issue, though, but that window is closing. For now, the question remains, will Pierre be able to join his team on football's biggest stage? We'll see as we move forward, and we'll be sure to keep you updated. That's it for this week. Tune in next time as we continue to bring you stories from across Africa and its diaspora. If there's a topic you want us to cover, let us know in the comments. Because our goal here is simple. make information about our communities accessible to everyone from the perspective of the people we report on. So, don't forget to like, subscribe, and support the channel. See you next week.